that I'm gonna be talking about are all of them. So it's not just the romantic relationships, husband, wife. We're cover them all. Relationships as siblings, parents and children, co-workers, bosses, employees, all of them. And this time of the year, March, when we are cleaning out, the spring cleaning that we call it, because it's a new season, because we have many things astrologically to take advantage of, because we don't have anything else to do, because we are at home. You may use any of those reasons / excuses to do a cleanup. And a cleanup, deep cleanup, should take place in every area of our lives. And relationship is probably the most important one of all. And I'm gonna tell you why. We cannot grow if we don't have relationships. We can't grow. We are meant to be social. We are meant to be in relationships, regardless what kind of relationship that is. I said with coworkers, with employees. Hi, Bridget. As I was saying, relationships are the most important part of us as human beings. It's the way we grow. The co-workers that we don't get along with, the ex-wives, ex-husbands that we don't get along with, siblings, parents, any kind of relationship that we have is there for us to grow. And when we don't really grow with it, it becomes kind of a baggage, heavy one, that we take with ourselves every step of the way, and we continue putting more baggage over the baggage. So today I'm gonna give you a couple of ways that you can start working on those not so good relationships that you've had or have right now. Right now is a very crucial time to work on them. So when we actually get out of our house and start our new life, because this is gonna be one of those stories about before the virus and after the virus. This is breaking in half the story. And I'm sorry, Christians, I'm not trying to take away Jesus' role in our lives, but this is something that what is happening now is something. Hello, everyone. Mike, Sarah, Michelle, hello. This is something that actually is making a really important point of reference in our history. And we need to change the way that we were living life before. Otherwise, this was here for nothing. So my invitation for the ones that right now are having your family with you and you cannot really escape from them and you really want to escape from them, or even people that you want to reach out but you haven't talked to them in years because something broke the relationship and so forth. This is an invitation of healing. We did a meditation the other day about forgiveness. I hope you start forgiving all this week, all these people that are coming to your mind, and start forgiving them, because forgiveness is something that you give to yourself. You don't give to the others. You give to yourself forgiveness. The other person is living their life. They don't really get annoyed by your anger or by your resentment. They continue their lives long time ago. The only way that you actually can lift the weight on you is forgiving. So don't take the poison expecting that the other person is gonna die. That is resentment. So let's lift up that, and we are in that process. So today's topic is related to how many times we have lied to ourselves, saying that people are going to disappoint us. This kind of people disappoint us. And I know already that this person or this kind of people are gonna disappoint us, and we expect that disappointment. And actually when the disappointment happens, we are like, yes, I knew it. We are here just to justify everything that we have believed. So if we have believed something like disappointment. People always disappoint me, and people always disappoint me. And even though it's a lie, but when you have said it to yourself so much, it becomes a belief, it becomes your truth. And actually the universe is gonna help you to justify that truth. And every single time you feel like, you see, that person disappointed me. I knew that that person will disappoint me, because it's what everyone does around me. And you continue in that cycle until you actually want to break it, and you are free now. So think about someone right now that is bothering you, not because just you're with that person at home and it's too close, too much, or because you have to deal with that person on a regular basis and it's just driving you crazy to talk to your mom, to your dad, to your sibling, anyone. Think about that person. And now think about 2 or 3 things that bother you very much about that person. That person is loud, is annoying, is always whining, whatever the case is. He or she is arrogant, feels that everyone has to please her, please him, is grouchy, whatever. Please think about 3. And now that you thought about the person that bothers you, you thought at least 2 or 3 qualities of that person that you can really stand and you kind of push your buttons. I want you to turn it around. And I want you to ask yourself, am I arrogant? Am I grouchy? Am I loud? Whatever you put in that paper. Hi, Barbara. Welcome. Whatever you put in that paper or thought about, ask those questions to you. And this is the truth, and sometimes we don't like to hear the truth, but I'm not here to sugarcoat it to anyone, because we need to learn this fast. So the more raw I can give you the information and I can give you the truth, the better for everyone. And if you're not ready to hear the truth, put it on the side. Eventually you might be ready, you might not be ready. I have a detachment about your growth. I'm just here to give you the information that I have, which works, which is how the universe works, and how we actually grow. As soon as you know that those pieces, qualities, or flaws of this person that bother you so much, you have them in you, and unfortunately this person is just showing you the mirror of your own image in herself, himself, then you can start working on them. You won't make this other person change. The one that needs to change is you. The one that needs to love those flaws / qualities is you. You only have control over you. It's the only person that you actually can control. You can control your thoughts, you can control your emotions, you can control your growth. It's up to you how you're gonna see everything else. And something else that I learned from Buddhism and Taoism is not doing and not reacting. Being more the observer of these relationships and these people and how they're showing you who you are, actually. So there's this Taoist practice called Wu Wei, which is do nothing, which right now is so easy for us to do nothing. But the invitation that I'm giving you, and probably a homework on a daily basis, and more now that we are kind of boredom / going crazy in our houses, is take 5 or 10 minutes of your day to not watch TV, not read a book, maybe not even to meditate. You're not gonna force this. Probably you're gonna have a piece of paper where you can write what's coming for you. Hi Chrissy, welcome. Happy to see you all guys here. I don't even know who's here. I know people get disconnected with this Facebook disconnection. So for the 4 of you that are here live, I'm glad you're still sticking here with me. And you're gonna write down about this, about their relationships that we're talking about. This person that we just wrote down about, another person, somebody is gonna come. So every single day of this quarantine, and actually, I don't know if you know, guys, but quarantine means 40. Quarantine is 40 days. Sometimes they say, oh, quarantine, yeah, let's do it for 2 weeks. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Quarantine, look it up. That is Latin for 40, which means 40 days in the house. So in these 40 days that we're gonna be at home, if we don't take advantage of growing and going out in 40 days or whenever we can go out as a different person, as a better version of ourselves, this was completely a waste. This is a gift, even though it's a gift in disguise, so to speak, because of course there's people that are sick, people that are dying, a lot of money is lost, we don't have incomes anymore, and so forth. Yeah, that could be one way of seeing the situation. And another way is seeing it as slow down, start looking into your priorities. What priorities were you having before this happened? Why you were not connecting with people the way that we are connecting now? Maybe you're behaving even worse than before the virus. So probably right now is a good time for you to evaluate what part of you wanna see better on the other side. Now you start drinking at 3 p.m. instead of 5 p.m. Maybe between 3 and 5 you need things to do, so you don't go out in 40 days like an alcoholic. Maybe you're eating more, so try to balance what kind of food are you eating, because when we are in this situation like at home for so long, we get so bored, then food becomes like a hobby. Are you watching so much TV that actually your neck start hurting? And actually I have a neck pain right now. I don't know if it's because I slept wrong or I've been watching too much TV, because I'm watching more TV now than before, for sure, in different times of the day. Before was probably at night. I don't have cable, but I have Netflix, and it's dangerous, and I have Amazon Prime, so it's dangerous. But I have the schedule that I talk about one of these days in the past, probably 3 or 4 days ago. I talk about how my schedule is there for me. I know when I'm talk on the phone with a client. I know when I'm gonna do this live. This has kept me sane to every single day be here for you, supporting you. It's supporting me at the same time. At what time do we eat? What kind of food are we gonna eat? Not just like, oh, I don't have anything to do, so I'm gonna eat. So start putting certain things in place. Like I told you before, organizing your house, cleaning your house. This is the perfect time. You don't have any excuses. Make it fun. Everything that we do when we make it fun is not work anymore. So make everything that you have to do fun. And regarding relationships, make a space during the day, in the morning, and to really evaluate the relationships that you have now. You have siblings that you don't get along with. Start writing down why I can't really stand my brother, my sister. You have not so good relationship with your parents. Why my communication with my mom, my dad sucks, and so forth. And if you have someone in your household that right now is driving you crazy, do it with that person first. So go in the privacy of the bathroom if you need to, and write down what that person is actually like getting onto your nerves and maybe pushing your buttons too much. Now is the time. And again, I'm here to support you through the process. So every single time that I'm giving you a task, something to do, is not unfinished, because my clients, they have my support through it for a long time until this becomes more a second, and they don't fight much the process. At the beginning, you're gonna fight it, because the worst thing that we can see in the mirror is something awful about us, and that is okay. Remember that we talk about shadows and our darkness. If we say that we are light, we are also darkness. But how we balance them, how we see that darkness as part of us and we love it. We were not raised to love our darkness. Your dad, your mom, your teachers, if you were good, if you behave in a certain way, you have certain consequences that were positive. You have awards. If you behave badly, you have time out. You couldn't play with your toys. So we are always being in this right or wrong society that now as adults, we have the choice. We have the choice to change. We have the option. And of course, to reprogram our brain of not going into the pathway of, I know people disappoint me. I know I have to behave good to be approved by. If I behave badly, I'm not good enough and I don't self-love or else. So it is very confusing. And I know and I understand that I'm giving you sometimes too much to chew in one day. So reach out to me. I told you, and it's posted there. If right now you need any support, I'm not expecting you to become my client, but at least you do the exercise to the fullest, because this is just the first part of the exercise. So I don't want you to go limping or maybe open wounds and then we don't close them properly. So I give you a little bit more guidance how to close those dark spots that you're gonna start finding out the more you do this exercise, the more people you actually write about, how much these people are bothering you, the more you're opening, and the more the universe or God is gonna support you to actually take advantage of this time and grow for real. And when you grow and learn, you have the best relationships around you. And the best example I can give you personally was my ex-husband. I had a very traumatic first divorce from him. It was awful. I cried. I lost all my weight. I was size 0. I was just a walking dead person, basically a zombie going to work and coming back. And if it wasn't for my acupuncturist, the one that you guys probably know in Miami, the one that I kind of introduced you guys and I want you to follow him. If it wasn't because of him, I wouldn't really survive the year that I was through this turmoil of this first divorce. Now, why am I talking about first divorce? Because I got married twice and I divorced him twice, the same guy. But the second time around, there was so much difference in the process because I changed, because I stopped being the victim of the relationship. I got help. I hired a life coach back then. I hired healers. I hired like 3 people at that time when I was like, I'm done. How it come I got married to the same guy that I hated before? How it come? This guy wasn't for me. Why did I do it again? I started taking charge and being empowered about changing who I was to actually change the whole situation. And this first sentence of this healer that came to me, and she said, all your relationships are the mirror of you. I was like, no, no way that I am that. I rejected it. That's why I understand if you reject the concept, that's fine. But little by little, she took me to a better way of understanding where the mirror and the lessons were. And we had then, years later, we had then the divorce that I couldn't wish for more. We didn't have to fight about anything, about money, nothing, about the custody of my daughter. He was like, you take her to Hawaii, everything is gonna work out. And I know that for him, letting me come here to Hawaii and him staying in Florida, I know it wasn't easy for him. But the connection that I got myself, the alignment that I had, make actually the situation being like with lights all over, with angels, with support, with universe, with whatever you in your own language can translate to this support system, which is, you don't see it, it just happens. And it was because of my alignment, only me, only I did it. He didn't change. He was the same person when I left Miami. Later on, he started changing because he hired the same life coach that I hired. So yes, he's a better person now, oh, for sure. But in that moment, when I was changing, he was the same. He was behaving the same way. And from that experience, that's why I teach this specific tool with so much confidence that if you use it, oh my God, you're gonna grow faster, sooner, easier. You're gonna bring to your existence better relationships. Because from growth, you don't go back. You don't go back to be less off. You're just going up, growing. And I said up because usually when you're little, you grow up, right? It's not because I'm higher than you or I'm better than you. No, it's because there's no way back when you have grown. And I'm still growing, of course. And I'm still encountering relationships when I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know I had that. But I see it really easily. When I find someone that is showing me something about myself, I see it right away. I work on it right away. And sometimes I have to work more than anything because of how much self-aware I am. But it's a practice. So I'm here to help you practice and to help you make the change. If you want better relationships, it's the only way to manifest better relationships. And I don't know who's still here, but if you have any questions, comments, right now is the time. We're almost done. I'm gonna leave you with that. I think that is a lot for a Tuesday. So if you wanna, okay, thank you. Okay, I think tomorrow, I just have something and I forgot. Oh yes, tomorrow we might talk, unless something else comes up for me, we're gonna talk about our new life. Our new life after this quarantine. How do we wanna design that? Okay. So thank you guys for being here, and the ones that are gonna watch on the replay, leave me comments. I love to hear from you and to hear a little bit more about how many people have you forgiven so far since Saturday. I think I gave you that homework, and from today's homework, how many people you need to start watching to see what is behind those behaviors that you want to learn about. So give me your comments. Give me your comments, please, below. So Julia Vergara, life coach, empowering lives through inspiration, and see you tomorrow. Aloha.